Hey there, friends, and welcome to episode 8 of the Spaceblock series. I'm Icon, and today, well, we're going to try to solve that landfill problem once and for all. Because it has been a nice time with this rickety-crickety shack over here, but we really need to do something which is a little bit less disorganized and a little bit more functional and especially scaled up. So I came up with the idea that we're going to spend some of that extremely wonderful landfill here and expand that area and think today about the possibilities of scaling up this whole business. The next chapter after that will be the production of, or much more, the duplication of oil and uranium ore, so we can finally start creating our own space matter. And once we are at that point, we can actually play the game like a normal person, somewhat. Because once we have the option to produce space matter in a larger scale, I will be capable of producing ores also in a more sane manner. Because right now, ore production is kind of an insane game that I don't like to, that I don't want to build up in a larger scale, especially since the space matter furnaces are visible in my reach. So, okay, but for now, I won't be ripping this whole thing here apart out of the simple reason I want a steady income of that landfill here. But let's talk about that landfill a little bit more in detail, huh? So let's add up that recipe. I never ran the numbers for this one, so we can ignore the wait a sec. We can't ignore the costs of the landfill because this machine feeds itself. We just need to talk about the red science packs here. There we go. So we're gonna need 2 of those, and we're gonna need. All right. So let's adjust that a bit. Scale that up a little bit, and I want to find a common denominator between those plate values here. This is looking good because 1.2 iron plates are roughly 12 assemblers, yes, but that's also 4 furnaces. This is 2 furnaces, and therefore I think this recipe will bring me zero point 0.3 landfill packets per second, but most importantly, I can scale that up as much as I want to. But we're going to work this time, I just realized, not with the tier 1 assemblers, but with the tier 2 assemblers. So, let's see. Is it worth it in any particular way here? So, it doesn't change anything here. If I saw it correctly, it did change... It did change a lot here. It didn't change anything here. Okay, so let's go a little bit further into detail here. So I want to know. Here we go. That's vital information, isn't it? Ooh. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. So with the tier 2 assemblers, I will be capable of slimming down my production a lot. And since we are by now producing our steel plates all by ourselves, it's not a problem anymore to produce these tier 2 assemblers. I felt like that was one of the biggest milestones to tackle because with tier 2 assemblers, my whole array systems here will be a lot slimmer than before. I can't wait it because it's really doubly nasty to have over 2 bulky builds here because landfill is so costly to come by. Okay, now this is going to be nevertheless a pretty big list, pretty big procedure. So we haven't talked yet about colds, didn't we? So we need to produce them colds here as well. Okay. Here we go. So we're consuming... Wait a sec. Are these numbers even real? But yeah, I should be capable of trusting them. Well, we'll see in the readouts then. I'm just very confused that these smelters really are supposed to need such a low amount of coal. Am I overproducing coal that heavily all the time? I have really high doubts about the consumptions here, but probably I totally overcalculated that. So far, I always planned one assembler per furnace, but it seems like I had a calculation mistake there. Okay, I mean, actually, that ain't bad. I mean, don't want to complain about the fact that we are obviously better off than I thought. Now, let's plunder some materials here and there, and let's think about how we're stringing that up. We're gonna have a lot of ore production here, and when I say a lot, I mean a lot. So I see two options. Either I string the ores together in this way, so copper and iron. This way I would have the ores on one belt, and then I would just let the coals run on an exterior belt. Is that of any interest for me? I wonder. I don't think so, actually. So no, we're going to string them together like that. So 8 of those are necessary. 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And we're rather gonna be doing it like this, that every one of these lines receives a known coal producer. And now we're knee deep again in the inserter madness. Oh well. So actually, no. The output will overstrain a basic inserter oh so slightly, but dang. It's just like I thought. A fast inserter is a little bit too much, but if I want to have this array working on full capacity and on full speed, can't change it. Dang. For a moment I was hoping that I overdid it the whole time, but no, I didn't. As far as I don't have any lapse in my thoughts here. But okay, it's just blue inserters are so freaking costly, you know. But I mean, at least I don't have to handcraft the yellow inserters beforehand anymore. I mean, that is in itself already a big advantage. We did make a decent amount of progress here. I'm very happy to have that science. Oh, talking about science. So I took the liberty of sciencing some stuff up in between. We're now capable of oil processing, fluid handling, sulfur. These things I did in between the waiting time while preparing this episode, because I figured that it would be just pretty cool if we just had these things already available. So I basically whipped up all the necessary tech to produce space matter, but I really need to get there first. And I felt like we can't do anything before we ain't got enough landfill production capacity. So I wanted to see if we can put up a larger scale production here alongside with that. But I don't think I will upscale any further beyond this, because, you know, we have to think about the costs of all this in the long run. I mean, this does need power, and once this is done, this is going to be a pretty big array all in all. Because, I mean, we got a lot of stuff here right now in the making. So where will I put out the iron plates? I think this is the direction I like to see here. Oh dang, we need more furnaces. Okay, so it's gonna be 4 furnaces here. Ah, you know what? Never mind. Another thing that I scienced up in between. We got now the real power poles. I mean, sure, they do cost us steel and all, but it's lovely to have them now finally. Okay, so we're going to do the classic here. It's going to take a while on this until it's all saturated. Let's expand that thing just oh so slightly. Yeah, thanks. Whatever, we're going to spend a little bit of resource here extra. Alright. There we go. So there's gonna be the iron. Okay. Now, we're gonna need a similar kit for the copper. So... yay! I have a hard time believing that this coal production will suffice, but... whatever. Let's put it to the test, I'd say. Now, we can simply string up the copper production over here. Let's keep producing those inserters because I know that we're kind of like addicted to them. And then we're going to spring in that coal producer, of course. There we go. Really am enjoying that I feel like I got my things here under control by now. You know? It's no longer a mystery to me how things work here in this mod pack. What I'm really trying to wrap my head around lately now is how exactly I should factor in the extra 10%, the 10% chance of an extra copper ore, because that would mean every 10th sequence produces another copper ore. This thing produces in one cycle 1 unit of copper ore. That cycle lasts 5 seconds, so it's 0.2 copper ore per second. Okay. Every 10th cycle, it's... I'm gonna... if somebody has the math behind that and can me tell how much copper this recipe actually outputs, well, maybe Helmod can. Because I'm really confused about that. So here it says it outputs 0.4 per second. I think that is the right ratio. But I sometimes have trouble trusting my mods when they factor in such things, so... well, I think it doesn't help. I need to grab myself some sheet of paper and calculate it myself. Or an Excel table, whatever. Or somebody helps me out here in the comment section, whatever happens first. Luckily, I still got some time until we are at that point, because I will not start... let's go over here. I will not start producing space matter before I am capable of replicating the necessary materials in a orderly way. You know. Oh, I did them wrong here. It's so easy to mess yourself up with the correct facings of the inserters. And the worst part is, it doesn't, when you make a mistake there, it doesn't show up immediately. It does take a moment until it shows. I mean, here with the singular coal machine, it did, I did notice it quite quickly, but... Alrighty, now, that's that. Look at them, they're finally producing our iron plates. So, am I already done? Yes, I am. Neat. So what I am noticing is that I only would need to string up a couple of more here and a couple of more there, relocate the furnaces here a little bit, and I could really pump up the volume of this production chain quite easily without breaking too much of a sweat and or break. Whatever. This game has a way of mingling with my talking skills. It's awesome. There's no other game I'm doing Let's Play videos for compared to Factorio that messes up with my with my speech is hard. It's really fun. Alright. So I'm whipping up a little bit more space over here because my plan now will be that I'll leave this here more or less as a blank space, and up here we will start producing the landfill. So since I want to dismantle this whole section here as soon as the production chain is up and running, we will have a lot of room here. So basically the basic production for the landfill will happen down here, and here we will produce the landfill. Yes, I am thinking in quite large scales because I am very, very tired of running out of landfill. Here we go. Okay. Now, we will need only this one machine for iron gear wheels, and then we will never ever again need to touch that iron. So what I like to see here, oh well, I'm gonna do it like that. This is gonna be fun. So this way we're going to have all the necessary products on one belt. So I'll take a larger machine here in the first place. And now this will satisfy 4 of these tier 2 assemblers. Okay. So we're going to string that up into this direction. And let's think. This is not really a good direction to string these machines up to, because I think this could conflict there. No, we're going to put them over here ish. We're going to let the resource flow down here, and the output will come on the top side here, because I think it's going to be a lot tidier this way. Okay, there is the science pack production. Here. So I'm pretty fond of the fact that basic inserters suffice. Okay. Now, we're gonna need the production of the landfill. I'll be going this way. Yeah. I try to keep some upscalability in mind here while I'm stringing these together. Well, might as well use the small ones. Alright. Now that's all been set into motion. We can now start creating the landfill, but it's really important that we start doing so after the output of the red signs is fully done, I think. Okay. Hooray! We're almost there. Now, these dudes, they can't do everything with basic inserters? Neat. Alright. So this thing does need to output first, though. And then input. Simply because it does need the landfill packages to feed itself. Alright. And now... Presto kickstart production. And now we should be capable of just dumping that stuff into a chest. Oh, wait a sec. I should install a splitter at the end of this. Otherwise, I will constantly suffer from red science packs in my chest. Or, oh no, we're going to solve that easier. We're going to use a filter inserter for good. That's a lot easier than messing around with these things. So we're going to whitelist only the landfill, and then it'll leave these on the belt, no biggie. And I actually won't limit this chest. This is one of the rare occasions where I can only say, why the hell should I be not wanting more of that? So, with that being done, here's one downside of this whole thing. I can only scale up the iron production on this side of the belt, and this side of the belt lies pretty unused. But whatever. So, next step, we're going to dismantle this hot mess of an array. I really am looking forward to that, because I really have no clue what the hell we were doing there. And this is always very, very bad. When your layout comes to the point where you're looking at it and you notice that it works because you know the intended purpose of that and all, but you got no clue how it correctly stringed together, how the ratios were, and all those things, then your build is too messy. Usually, I think a build should be able to explain itself while you're looking at it, if that makes any sense. So this is my science production, let's not destroy that. And this is the landfill production right now. I mean, the plus of that is I do get a lot of materials to work with out of that, and I enjoy that. But dismantling this area is something I don't enjoy that much. In general, I don't like to dismantle areas in Factorio for some reason that I find it a very, very tedious task. But, you know, it's wrong button. But it ain't killing me either. Okay, goodbye. Goodbye, dear landfill factory. We had a wonderful time together. I mean, look alone at this crazy hot mess of coal supplied spaghetti here. I mean, this is friggin' awkward. But I love it to build stuff like that in the beginning phase of a factory. Because when we were extremely low on resources, all of this made perfect sense. Sure, I could have done better, but you always can, in hindsight. Alright. So I think I'm getting closer to the end of the dismantling of this area here. And I'm pretty sure that I can dismantle some of those coal producers as well. But right now, I'm not feeling up to it. Okay. But basically, everything running down this lane is completely unnecessary at this point. The inventory is already screaming in pain. I mean, the amount of coal I pick up here is disgusting. But oh well. We had a good time with this one here, not gonna lie. And the good news is all that coal and all that ore and whatnot in my pockets will help me kickstarting future productions. So it's actually worth something. Oh my god, look at those power poles. Okay. Let's remove a few of those, shall we? Okay. Looking for the necessary parts gets harder and harder the more excessive a power grid grows. There we go. So everything is still powered. Wonderful. We could still do it better by stringing it up over here, but I really did now more than enough tidying up. So with these insane amounts of coal, I like to take a little bit of a trip down here to the boilers. They never say no to an excessive amount of coal, and there we go. Now we got this production running, and I'd say it's a good time to just do it one more time, you know? I'd say the best thing that I can do right now is just duplicate that thing. Just do it one more time. Because we got the necessary materials, basically. There's not much to it. I only need to 1, 2, 3, 4... put 4 more of those here, and that's why I tried to pay so much attention to these things when I started, because this way things are a lot easier upscalable, and I enjoy that thoroughly. So we just need to do more of the same. Isn't that lovely? Alright, now give that thing a little bit of coal, give those a little bit of copper ore, and just like that, we can double that production. And that's what I really like about systems like these, that once you have the system down, expanding them turns into a no-brainer. I really like that. You can easily use what you already got as a template, so you don't have to break your noggin too hard anymore. The only thing I really dislike here is that here. So, well, I'm gonna use a little trick here. So 8 of those, and another one of those. Let's make this one first happen. So here, output, input. And pretty sure that I can bring up 8 of those down here. 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait a second. 4, 7, 8. So the only thing that will need to be relocated is that. Oh, I have a brilliant idea. It's going to be that easy. No, we're not going to do it like that. We're just going to put them onto another layer down here. Out, in, out. Do I have enough? Yeah. Just realized how easy I am capable of just loading more iron gear wheels onto that belt there. Okay. Just realized how friggin' easy we can replicate our situation there. So I won't be capable of fitting the furnaces in here, sadly. But that doesn't matter. So, there is some irregular shape now coming up due to some problems here, but that would be... Is that a little bit too narrow here? Yes, it is. Instead, like that. Let's see. It'll all make sense in a second, don't you worry. Basically, my idea is to do the same thing here again and just add in more gear wheels into that. Because this is seriously the easiest way that I can think of when I want to just expand that business. There we go. And now, something like that. Oh man, there's one big mistake though in my whole plan here. The coal manufacturer was on the wrong side. Well. Whoops. But that ain't too horrible. So let's use the big poles here. Oh, I love it. Using just one power pole to get the whole job done is so satisfying. Okay, and now we just need to put the gear wheels up there. There we go. Let's give those little dudes some hand love. Got so many coal. So much coal here. God, I really don't mind. And yeah, now the only thing that we need to do is to pack up 1, 2, 3, 4 more of those, because we already upped the copper production respectively too. We need to move this here a little bit, of course, because production line just got a little bit longer. But beyond that, presto, expansion. I like that. Seriously, this is extremely comfy to expand it like that. Forgive me for that cable, for the cable spaghetti though, my friends. Okay, so 3 more of those dudes can now be satisfied with that. And this is truly wonderful because... So wait a sec, we have the output on this here. Okay. Because I'm pretty sure that now we do have a really decent income of landfill. And this will help me a ton. So basically idling around for landfill now will be a lot more efficient than ever before. So, mission accomplished. And also I feel like this array looks quite tidy neat. I mean, sure, it is still a massive overkill with the sheer amount of assemblers working here, but at the same time, I don't feel the least little bit ashamed. We created a wonderful, constantly working factory, and I finally can say I'm producing 0.6 landfill per second. Before that, we were at 0.2, so I tripled my production with this episode, and the best thing about that, this is something I would be totally willing to blueprint it one more time and just copy it. You know, this is something I wouldn't expand another time, because then I think it would start to go bloaty. But just copying this block one more time to amp up the production seems pretty cozy and effective. Alrighty, thanks for watching, my friends. I hope you enjoyed that one too. I'm really, really happy with how this landfill solution came out optically. It really, it's not my typical style to be that tidy. Well, I have my chaos here, okay? There's cable chaos. Anywho, drop your comments down below. Leave a thumbs up on that video if you enjoyed to make it more visible to the rest of the world. And of course, if you haven't done so already, check out my channel. There's daily stuff uploaded there. So you might want to subscribe and turn on the notifications if you want to stay updated. So for the next episode, we will start diving deeper into the oil and uranium replication. And of course, this also means that we need to start thinking about oil refining in general. Lots of goodies happening there. So I think before all that happens, we will upgrade our power production one more time. And I don't know if that's going to be in any way exciting, or if I'll just I might just plug that in off camera, because, you know, it is a very, very simple array of pure coal production. The only difference will be that the next array will be a lot leaner and smaller due to the fact that we are using tier 2 assemblers now. Okay, see you guys next time. Bye-bye.